Hey Salivers, this is SuperZomGBBQ, and today we should be streaming right now, and unfortunately we're not because Twitch is dead. So coming right back at you with those YouTube videos. Damn, oh my god. Right, so there's a lot to go through because I thought I'd make this video more of like a catch-up thing because a lot of you guys don't know about certain things that have happened, and I'm going to try and cover that off in the next couple of videos over the next couple of days. First, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported me with the Grand Theft Auto videos. They're just a bit of fun that me and Marcelo, if you don't know who Marcelo is, he's not a YouTuber or anything, but there's his Twitter details in the description below. Go give him a follow. He's actually a really awesome guy, and he's super fun to play with as well. So if you do want to give him a follow or anything, that'd be awesome. And he's also one of the guys, you know, I like from AHTF. Sorry, Michael. Only kidding. Anyway, if there's a few things you need to go through, and one of those things is that if you haven't heard already, TeamUK is dead. Now, TeamUK is a team that I set up a long time ago before the team things were even a thing, and there's actually an idea between me and Flex Valentino. Me and Flex Valentino made this team, which is purely made of UK people. And then eventually we got Edward into the mix and a couple other guys at Double D, etc. When another team called Team Rest of the World, which was actually set up by a guy called Copter and Munty as well. And they had Team Rest of the World. And that Rest of the World team kind of then evolved into this other team called AHTF. Now, AHTF are probably now the best team in SuperCard. So just kind of this rivalry between two really good sets of players who eventually we kind of like got one up on each other. Our first one was that we had like the total amount of points or rank you had or something crazy like that in the Cena Rusev PCC from Survivor Tier in Season 1. And this group of guys from the UK, guys like DT Breezy Figaro, also Edward obviously joined in after the first event, I think. Or if he did, I think it was actually the first event he was in. I don't know. And the whole idea is that the guys started building up autographs as well, because I know he hates him, I don't mention him as well. Eddie, we had J24 as well. I could go through the days of talking about people. Adnan as well. We had in this team, and this team was awesome. We got on so well, and it all culminated in effectively the first team's event, AHTF winning. The next team's event, we beat AHTF with the highest point score so far in the team's PCC. And TeamUK was going strong. Unfortunately, I don't want to blame Cat Daddy. I don't want to blame anyone who works, you know, for WWE SuperCard or anything else like that. But the game has just got so stale over the last couple of months that people have just decided that it's gone too far, that they're now going to move on with their lives. They've got other things have come up. And as a result, we lost a couple of really good players. And guys like Edward, for example, if you know from YouTube, Craig as well as Simply SuperCard, Barry as well, all left for NBA. And, you know, Edward said he's going to come back, but I don't know what's going to happen with the other guys. I don't know if they're coming back or not. So he brought another couple of people, and it just wasn't the same team. And after the last event, if you don't remember, look at the video which I'm going to put into the video now. The team is very different. We had a couple of underperforming new members who came in, and the decision was made after the last event that we were just going to kill the team and start again. And I don't know what's going to happen now. The team is kind of doing their own thing, and I'm currently teamless as such at the moment, so fingers crossed that all comes together. But at the moment I am playing for Forever Smug, because this is technically the final event of JBonTour, because my belief is that WrestleMania 2 is going to be out anytime between this week or 3 weeks time, and I'll give my reasoning for that very soon. But effectively takes this as a history lesson. Go back into, it's over here, so I keep always forgetting, it's over here. There'll be a link into the first ever PCC. It's actually, if you search up my name and YouTube, it's for some reason I've never understood why, it's the first video pops up is the Cena versus Rusev PCC, where TeamUK effectively formed. And I so wanted that Rusev card, man. That Rusev card would have been brilliant, but alas. Yeah, but and that Rusev card actually now is the super rare and super card, which is awesome. So yeah, basically, RIP TeamUK, we'll move on with our lives, and everyone will be happy again very soon. But I know there's going to be a couple of people out there who are disappointed, but everyone moves on with stuff, and things die all the time. Sorry, life story. In other news, I'm incredibly lazy. I literally haven't even leveled up my Daniel Bryan yet. I'm actually kind of leaving the guys in Forever Smug to level up my Daniel Bryan yet. And basically, I'm kind of waiting on that to be leveled up before I pro it. Hopefully, by the time this video or the next video ends, my Daniel Bryan will be leveled up and ready to go as such. And yeah, basically, hopefully, I can make it a decent card. I've been thinking of the ways of doing it, and a video is going to come out very, very soon. It's actually going to talk about an app which I'm using at the moment, which is really, really accurate. And I've been actually recommended by someone. And it should be really, really, really useful for you guys to use. A lot of people are asking what's the best card to tag Daniel Bryan with. And this is where I'm going to get really kind of like statistical with you. Because statistically, obviously The Rock is the best card. Because The Rock is one of the best cards available in the game. Because he, you know, he's decent in speed. He beats Undertaker in speed, for example. He beats a lot of cards in charisma, a lot of cards in power, apart from Roman Reigns. And a lot of people have been asking me on Twitter and also on Twitch streams, what's the best person to have as a tag? A lot of people have tokened their Daniel Bryan, and so I can't really give advice on that. But simply put, the best way of explaining it is that probably Chris Jericho or Undertaker are the best people to be tagging your Daniel Bryan with. And let me explain why that's the case. Well, with Chris Jericho, if we go to all the event cards that are left arrows, okay, the first left arrow event card that we got in the game, in Survivor tier, was an Undertaker. Now, Undertaker is especially weak against The Rock. So it was the Undertaker, then it was The Rock, then it was Jericho, and then it was Kalisto. So you think of it this way. Taker gets beaten in free stats by The Rock. The Rock gets beaten in free stats by Jericho, and Jericho gets beaten in free stats by Kalisto. Now, the same sentiment can't be same for Daniel Bryan. Honestly, you could have any kind of combination you wanted whatsoever. But for me, it's going to be Jericho or Taker. And the reason for that is a lot of people are going to use The Rock with Daniel Bryan. And that means that you could easily benefit by using a charisma, a highly leveled Daniel Bryan with a decent charisma level Jericho. But obviously then that's weak against Kalisto's. But then Kalisto's against Taker, so is Taker the best card? See, me personally, I would say Jericho, or if you've got a Taker that's really good in power, I would seriously suggest that Taker's the best card to use for, because if you look at all over Taker's stats, if Taker's got good toughness and good power, then it's going to be most Kalisto's. And it kind of goes around in this big circle, so actually the game's really set up in quite a special and unique way, that unless you've really changed the tokening of your cards, and let's say put all power on Kalisto, then honestly you're probably in a position where there's going to be an anti to every single combination you use for Daniel Bryan. So which tag should you use? Probably the best ones are Jericho, because it's anti The Rock, but let's just say it this way, if someone else using a Rock with Bryan, then you want to use Jericho or Bryan. If you want to, well, you could also potentially argue that Taker could be good against The Rock as well, but it depends if he's got good power or not. If someone's using Jericho as well, Jericho and Bryan, then you want to use Kalisto and Bryan, and it just all goes along in that route of which cards are better than which ones, and that every left arrow event card has been better in free stats if you level it normally than any other card. So it's kind of interesting in that fact that the game's been run like that, and makes you feel whether they had this whole thing planned from the start. But Daniel Bryan is a really, really awesome card. He's not highest in stats, but if you level him right, and the way I found to level him best, and I've seen a lot of examples, when I said in my last video, use the hashtag #DamnDaniel ZOMG, and feel free to do that in the on Twitter and on the comment section below with hashtag #DamnDaniel. But my best way, as far as I'm concerned, when I've been looking at the stats and I've been using the app that I've been using, is to level them up in highly in charisma, semi-high in speed with a little smidgen of toughness, maybe put a lot more toughness on. But the reason why you do that is because a lot of people are going to level him up in speed and charisma. Daniel Bryan is not going to beat a Kalisto card in speed. He's already going to beat Taker and Rock without even the blinking in speed. And if you're lucky enough, he might even be a decent Jericho in speed. But if you was just to take that and just kind of flip that the other way around, you just put charisma into Daniel Bryan and put toughness into Daniel Bryan with a little smidgen of speed, you're going to beat most Jerichos in 2 stats. And you're also then going to have a Daniel Bryan you can use with Taker, and you can use with potentially Kalisto and The Rock and Jericho. Whereas if you limit it to just speed and charisma, you're going to have a really, really hard time, especially up against cards like, for example, Kalisto and Jericho as well, because they're going to be leveled in the same way. And especially if you're up against The Rock, a lot of people put a lot of charisma in The Rock. So it wouldn't hurt if you scouted people beforehand, but my honest suggestion is that Jericho and Taker are the best people to tag with, especially the fact that a lot of people use Jericho in their singles, so Kalisto's really good there. Not that I would use him because he's a horrible card in my opinion, but also you want to keep The Rock and people like Ric Flair and stuff available for the single slots of your King of the Ring, which I haven't actually done a King of the Ring in like 6 or 7 days. So yeah, but yeah, that's basically it in terms of just highlighting. We have got Team's Road to Glory going on right now. I'm in Forever Smug for this event because they're awesome. This is Luigi's team, if you guys remember. But literally, I don't think any of us are playing because a lot of these guys are from America, and you know they're still working at this point. So I don't know if they're actually playing this or not. I know that we're trying to get the Kevin Owens card because I know that some of us it's a pro. And I don't know about if Luge gets a Dean Ambrose Pro from this or anything else like that, but she's got a special John Cena. She doesn't need that. So, but that's it for me, guys, from the mean-faced Ryback and the terribly statted CM Punk in UFC 2. I'll see you guys very soon. Make sure you leave a like on the video if you want to see more WWE SuperCard content or any content whatsoever. And of course, remember to check out the GTA videos I mentioned earlier and the previous and the first event that TeamUK were in as well. And I'll see you guys soon. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe as well.